The face you're looking at right there is Joe Rogan thinking. So he's not looking at a human being. He's not making eye contact. He's looking up into some sort of distant place. It's kind of like when a chess grandmaster looks up at the ceiling. The girl from the chess, or the Queen's Gambit, she looked up at the ceiling and could envision the board. That's how Joe is, but with conspiracy theories. His latest adventure is to reconsider religion, because he was kind of an atheist, but really when you think about it, you know, he's had a lot of guests on. People have tried to convince him of God's existence, and they're pretty smart, right? Like, they're rich and smart. Like, Kid Rock came on and told him that Jesus was God and a thing, and it was nonsensical and ridiculous. Maybe we'll play that one first. Yeah, let's find that Kid Rock clip.
If you could go to one place, where would you go? If you had one shot, you can go back in time.
You only get one shot. Do not use your chance to blow. And he's looking up at that same chessboard in the sky. Joe Rogan, this is a pixelated video. My apologies. The answer to this question, if you can go anywhere in time, and Kid Rock goes, Jesus, which is basically his answer for everything, which is, you know, stupid.
And once and survive and come back to the future, where would you go?
Jesus.
Jesus.
I'd go Jesus. What Jesus at what age? Like, when was Jesus' prime? When was he walking on water?
But what if there was nobody there?
Even better, I get them
What if
all to
you-
myself, just me and Jesus.
No, I mean, what if Jesus
What do you plan on doing with the dude by yourself?
wasn't there? What if you go back and you're like, I just want to go see Jesus? And you're like, oh, okay.
Fuck, he'd be
What
there.
time?
He'd be there. He probably like a DJ back then.
He was probably a DJ.
He's there.
So this is the effects of drugs. This is essentially a don't do drugs ad that I'm doing right now. Both of these guys are currently not sober. And like for years of their life, they have retarded their brain with toxins and poisons.
You think there's a real Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Absolutely. 1000%.
This is a fun and stupid debate. The idea of, is there a historical Jesus? There's very little evidence to suggest that there is. A lot of people instinctively push back at that and they go, no, but he's been talked about quite a bit. So there probably was a real one. Like that's my safe assumption. No, all of your sources are bullshit. And it's just because a lot of people say something doesn't make it true. And so no, there wasn't a real Jesus. Now, if there was a guy named Jesus, that is not impressive. It doesn't mean anything. And it has no bearing on the supernatural claims that they are making about this dude. So even if there were a rabbi or some Jewish dude back then that was executed named Jesus, doesn't mean anything. But the evidence of there being a Jesus is like, oh, the Bible. Oh, the thing that's would been thrown out of court as complete gibberish and nothingness. Total hearsay. You don't even know who wrote it. At least with hearsay, people usually know the guy who's doing the hearsay. Like, hey, I heard a guy that I know the guy that told me this. He's saying something happened. And with the Bible, we don't even know the guy that's saying a thing happened. And it's usually triple hearsay, if not quadruple. It's a guy I don't know wrote something about a guy saying that he saw a guy do a thing.
What makes you convinced?
Listening to Joe Rogan talk to Kid Rock about religion and the meaning of life is unbelievable.
My faith.
This is retarded. Hold on, let's go back, because this is kind of a key point.
What makes you convinced?
What makes you convinced that Jesus exists, or did exist?
My faith.
So that's a dumb answer, and it's so haltingly dumb that Rogan is kind of taken aback. Like, no, I'm asking you why you believe what you believe. And his answer is, my belief. My belief is what makes me believe. Okay, so I'm swapping out the word belief for faith, which it's the same thing. It's blind faith. That's what they call it. It's, I have no reason to believe this. And you might as well swap it out for not my faith or not my belief, my greed. Greed. My narcissism, my desire to live forever. So me being just a putrid, vile, greedy son of a bitch, I want to live forever. That's why I believe in Jesus. That's what he's saying. A lot of these people are too dumb, so they just think, oh, it's virtuous to be a dumb fuck and believe for the sake of believing. And this goes back to the Book of Mormon, where the two guys that made that were mocking this tendency among the Mormons to believe just for the sake of believing. And that's the chorus of one of the songs. I am a Mormon, and a Mormon just believes. And it's like, that's it. They don't need a reason. Now, the reason is uncomfortable, and they don't want to address it, but it's for their personal benefit and gain. It makes them feel good, and they want to live forever and see all their dead loved ones.
I mean, that's a good answer.
No, Joe, it's not a good answer, which is why there was 10 seconds of awkward silence right there. You said, why do you think Jesus actually existed? And he said, because of my faith. That's not an answer. He's essentially saying, goo goo gaga, I have no fucking reason to believe that Jesus existed and did any of his magical David Blaine shit back then. Or for me to think that any of these claims, even if they were true, what significance does it have? I mean, these are obviously fanciful tales of not even yesteryear, yester century, that have no bearing on reality. So your life is essentially a joke. You're living in just a theater of the absurd creation of your own that is made to benefit you psychologically. Now, if anyone wants to, be critical of this or scrutinize the reason why you believe this, it becomes as laughable as the exchange you just saw. I believe it because I believe it? Oh, that's a good answer. Nope, not really, Joe.
I always wonder when people are telling stories, though. Like, how long did the story take before people wrote it down? How many times?
Yeah, people wrote it down. We don't even know who wrote it down. Oh, good Lord. A guy wrote a thing down 2,000 years ago. I guess that's true. Why else would he wrote it down? I mean, shit. Do people write things down? Can you write a lie? Is that even possible?
Times did people alter it, just like they do with everything today? I gotta imagine that at a certain point in time in history, they probably didn't tell the truth about a lot of things.
Yeah, Joe. If some people lie, Joe is just, he's pondering on the idea that lying is a thing. Too bad he doesn't really keep this in mind when he invites his innocence fraud friends on to lie about every single black person they talk about.
And we take those things, tell them through oral traditions, have them written down.
Well, there's a difference between lies and between the truth getting, manipulated and twisted a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. If you manipulate and twist the truth and it's no longer true, then that's a lie.
To witness the rest of this video, sign up at censored.tv. Be sure to use the coupon code ROOM to get 20% off. Or you can head over to subscribestar.com/atheism and join up to receive every full-length new video Devon makes. It barely costs anything to sign up. You know he deserves your support, and you deserve to be entertained by every new video AIU creates. So become a flying monkey and let's go.